When you're alone, something powerful happens. The noise fades and suddenly your thoughts start to align. You begin to see things differently. It's like zooming out from the chaos and finally seeing the full picture. Most people never experience this because they're constantly surrounded by opinions, expectations, and distractions. But when you isolate yourself, your mind stops reacting to the world and starts creating its own vision. Clarity appears. You start to understand what you truly want to build, not what others expect from you. When you spend time in solitude, you give your ideas space to breathe. You can look at them from every angle, refine them, test them in your head, and imagine what they could become. You're no longer competing with noise. You're building in silence. That's where real focus comes from. When you're not trying to impress anyone, just trying to create something meaningful. Alone time becomes your laboratory where your imagination runs freely and your ideas take form without judgment or interruption. The truth is, vision comes from the outside world. It comes from within. You can't download it, you can't borrow it, and you can't fake it. You have to find it in the quiet moments when no one's watching. You build the kind of focus that can change everything. Because when your vision is clear, your path becomes unstoppable. When you take a step back from the noise of the world, when you allow yourself to disconnect from everything and everyone for a while, something starts to shift inside you. Conclusion that you begin to notice that your thoughts get sharper, your ideas get clearer, and your vision starts to take shape. Most people are afraid of silence because it forces them to face their own mind. That silence is exactly where focus is born. When you're alone, you're not being influenced by what others think you should do. You start to see what you were actually meant to do. Solitude gives you the chance to question everything, your goals, your habits, your direction. You start to ask yourself the hard questions. Why am I doing this? What's the purpose behind it? What's the bigger picture? And as you find those answers, your vision sharpens. You stop chasing distractions and start building something that actually matters. In those quiet moments that creativity thrives, because your brain finally has room to think without interruption. Every big idea starts as a small spark in silence. It grows when you give it time and attention. That's why alone time is so important. It filters out the noise and helps you see the path ahead with precision. You start to notice connections others can't see, solutions that were hidden in plain sight. You stop moving blindly and begin to move with intent. And when your vision becomes that clear, it's only a matter of time before it becomes reality. Focus is what transforms imagination into something real. You can have the greatest idea in the world, but without focus, it's just a dream floating in your mind. When you isolate yourself and give your full attention to that one vision, everything starts to connect. Distractions fade. Time slows down, and your thoughts begin to align with your actions. That's when real creation happens, when you're so deeply focused that you forget about the outside world. It's not about working harder, it's about working with clarity and intention. When you're alone and focused, your mind becomes a tool of precision. You start solving problems faster, seeing patterns others overlook, and building solutions that actually move things forward. Most people get stuck because they scatter their energy everywhere, trying to do everything at once. But focus is about channeling all your energy into one direction until it becomes unstoppable. That's how progress is made. not through chaos, but through consistency and depth. In those moments of deep focus, imagination turns into design, design turns into execution, and execution turns into reality. Every breakthrough, every invention, every great creation began with someone who locked into their vision and refused to be distracted. That's what focus gives you. The power to bring thoughts into existence, to take something invisible and make it real. Once you understand that, you realize that the quiet hours alone are not empty. They are where the future is built. And most people feel fear being alone because it exposes their weaknesses. But that's exactly why it's powerful. When you're by yourself, there's no one to depend on, no one to reassure you, no one to tell you it's going to be okay. It's just you and your thoughts, and that's where real strength is built. You start learning how to control your emotions, how to keep moving even when it's uncomfortable, how to stay disciplined when no one's watching. That kind of strength can't be taught. It's developed in silence. Jasolation tests you. It pushes you to face frustration, doubt, and fear without running away. But as you keep going, you begin to realize that you don't need external validation anymore. You stop waiting for motivation and start creating it from within. Everything changes because once you can rely on yourself completely, there's nothing left to fear. You become resilient, calm under pressure, and unstoppable in your pursuit. When you train your mind to stay focused and strong in solitude, you stop depending on circumstances or people to keep you going. You build a foundation that doesn't shake when life gets hard. Alone time becomes your training ground, the place where mental strength, discipline, and belief are forged. It's not about isolation for the sake of being distant. It's about mastering yourself so deeply that the world can no longer break your focus. Once you learn to stand alone, nothing can knock you down.